Minister, for over a year and a half now, we've been confronted with scenes in Gaza that are so horrific that they haunt us long after our screens go dark. And we saw only this week the devastating image of a child crawling through the flames of a makeshift hospital camp trying to get to safety. More than 55,000 people, Palestinians dead, patients burned to death as they lie in their hospital beds, doctors, journalists, aid workers, all murdered, countless more maimed and living with horrific injuries, children with no families and parents with no children. The inhumanity, the brutality, these are not just isolated incidents, they're part of a relentless descent into darkness. And yet, even as we witness these horrors, we feel absolutely powerless. Our hearts are broken. Our hearts are absolutely broken. But let me be clear, I say this to the wonderful activists and advocates who are marching weekly through really horrific weather through the winter months. Your actions, your voices, your relentless pressures can and are making a difference. And this week, I listened to a haunting interview with Dr. Victoria Rose, a frontline surgeon working in Gaza, and she told us of 2,300 families completely wiped from the Palestinian civil registry, wiped out, annihilated. She spoke of 42,000 children, innocent, vulnerable, who are sole survivors of their families. These children are known by a chilling acronym, WCNSF. Wounded child, no surviving family. It's absolutely off the Richter scale horrific. When I think about all of this, I imagine the trauma, the loss, the despair of children who have known nothing but conflict and destruction. And we've heard condemnation from many, but what are these words worth if they are not backed by absolute concrete actions? Words without deeds are empty. Our outrage, if not translated into meaningful action, is meaningless. Now, I do want to acknowledge the Taoiseach and the decision by this government to take action with the Occupied Territories Bill. And this will be a first small step towards real action, but it is only the beginning. I first tabled the Occupied Territories Bill in 2018. It has taken 7 long years of delay and suffering and persistence to reach this point, and I welcome the progress, but the urgency is now greater than ever, and we cannot afford to waste another moment. We have a duty to ensure that this legislation is absolutely solid. We must pursue a full ban on all trade with illegal Israeli settlements, not just tangible goods like fruit and vegetable, but also intangible services like technology and IT. And this aligns with demands of the International Court of Justice. And I believe that if the political will is there, we can do this right and we can get it right. So beyond our own government, I say this, we must look to Europe. And despite declaring these settlements illegal and despite the obligations set out by the ICJ, no European country has yet taken tangible steps to prohibit trade with these settlements. Myself and my colleague Alice Mary Higgins, we were in Brussels recently, and some of the countries are open to this conversation, and they want to see Ireland lead on this. There has never been a targeted trade measure of this nature before at the EU level. And if we are serious about upholding international law, then we have to break that status quo. And the years, again I say it, the years of condemnation must finally be matched with real material action. Trade has to be on the table. It's just unacceptable. We're at a crossroads now. If we are serious about upholding international law, we must break that status quo. Trade measures are not just symbolic, they are a moral necessity. So how do we make Israel accountable for its crimes against the Palestinians? We have to do more. Empty rhetoric won't stop the slaughter, but concrete economic and diplomatic pressure can. And that means passing and enacting the Occupied Territories Bill as soon as is possible, and the illegal Israeli settlements divestment bill to undermine the economic and political viability of Israel's settlements in the West Bank. It also means pushing for an arms embargo and the suspension of the EU-Israel Association Agreement. And it means recognising that from the river to the sea, Israel is committing the crime of apartheid against the Palestinian people. We have to do the right thing here. There has to be no more excuses. There has to be no more delays. The suffering in Gaza and in the West Bank and across Palestine demands nothing less. Let us remember, the true measure of our humanity is how we respond to the suffering of others. And let history judge us by whether we had the courage to stand up, to speak out and to act. Let us be on the right side of history. Gormila Mahaka, thank you very much.